We talk about diabetes. There's type 1, there's type 2. What's the difference and which one is more damaging to the body?
So type 1 diabetes occurs mainly in children. The diagnosis comes at age 2 to 3 and again in the teen years. And this is when your body no longer makes insulin, which is a hormone that helps us handle sugars in our bloodstream.
Type 1 diabetes, also known as juvenile diabetes, is a chronic condition where the pancreas makes little to no insulin. Insulin is a hormone needed to allow glucose to enter the cells to produce energy, or ATP. As a result, those with type 1 have blood sugar spikes because of the backup of sugar in their bloodstream. Type 2 diabetes differs greatly because the body overproduces insulin. Over time, the lack of production as a result of insulin resistance causes concerningly low blood glucose levels.
Finding out you have diabetes can be scary, but don't panic. People with diabetes can live long, healthy lives. Sure, let's go over some basics. This is diabetes. Made simple. When we eat, food travels to the stomach. Food is made up of 3 basic nutrients: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. During digestion, carbohydrates are broken down into sugar, otherwise known as glucose. Here's a quick fact. Carbohydrates include foods such as bread, rice, pasta, potatoes, fruit, milk, and yogurt. In a normal digestive process, sugar travels from the stomach, through the bloodstream, to your body's muscle and fat cells. However, sugar can't enter these cells without the help of a special hormone called insulin, which is produced by the pancreas. Insulin acts like a key, unlocking the doors to the muscle and fat cells, allowing the sugar to enter. The cells then use this sugar as fuel to provide energy for the body. When this process is functioning properly, sugar entering the bloodstream from the stomach is able to exit the bloodstream at the muscle and fat cells. In this manner, the body is able to regulate the concentration of sugar in the bloodstream. Now let's see what happens in a person with diabetes. Sugar enters the bloodstream, but one of 2 things happens. Either the pancreas does not produce a sufficient quantity of insulin to match the sugar entering the bloodstream, or the body cells do not respond to the insulin that the body is producing. In both cases, the result is the same. Cell doors remain closed, causing sugar to get backed up in the bloodstream. As a result, blood sugar levels rise. This creates several problems. Because sugars are not able to enter your body's cells, your body is not getting the fuel it needs. As a result, you may feel tired or fatigued. Your body may try to dilute the excess sugar in the bloodstream by pulling fluid out of your cells. This can leave you feeling dehydrated and thirsty. Most importantly, over time, exposure to high blood sugar levels can cause damage to vital organs connected to the bloodstream, such as your eyes, kidneys, nerves, and heart. If not controlled properly, diabetes can lead to serious complications, such as blindness, amputation, kidney failure, heart attack, stroke. In order to avoid these complications, people with diabetes must take steps to keep their blood sugar levels in a normal range. One way to do this is through diet. By reducing the amount of carbohydrates you eat in a single meal or snack, you can regulate the amount of sugar entering the bloodstream and prevent your body's insulin supply from becoming overwhelmed. This may mean limiting high-sugar foods such as cake, pie, candy, and soda. You know which ones. Another way to regulate blood sugar is through exercise. Physical activity makes your body's muscle and fat cells more receptive to insulin. In other words, those muscle and fat cells that wouldn't open before, now they will. Finally, your doctor may prescribe oral medications to increase your supply of insulin, regulate the amount of sugar entering the bloodstream, or make your body's cells more receptive to the insulin your body is producing. In some cases, insulin shots may also be necessary. Okay.
One of the major short-term complications of type 1 diabetes is diabetic ketoacidosis, which is the buildup of chemicals called ketones in the blood that can cause stomach pain, nausea, vomiting, coma, and death. Some long-term complications of type 1 diabetes include heart and blood vessel disease, nerve damage, kidney damage, eye damage, skin conditions, and osteoporosis. Risk factors for type 1 diabetes include family history, genetic susceptibility, which is the presence of certain genes that indicate an increased risk, race, in the U.S. it's most common amongst non-Hispanic white children, and environmental factors like certain viruses and a diet.
African Americans and Hispanics are over 50% more likely to have diabetes than non-Hispanic whites. People with diabetes are at a higher risk for serious health complications, including stroke, blindness, kidney disease, heart disease, and loss of feet or toes. The total cost of diabetes and prediabetes in the United States is $322 billion. The average price of insulin increased nearly 3 times between 2002 and 2013. People with diabetes have healthcare costs that are 2.3 times greater than those without diabetes. When dealing with type 1 diabetes, there are 2 different pump breaks that need to be accounted for. First is the short-term pump break. This is where a person is only disconnected from their pump for a short period of time. To calculate insulin using a short pump, step 1 is to calculate the breakfast bolus, which is the bolus for carbs plus the correction bolus. Step 2 is to calculate the amount needed to cover basal rate, and step 3 is to combine both the breakfast bolus and the amount needed to cover basal rate in order to get your breakfast dosage, which in the example is 7.05 units.
One of the Healthy People 2020 initiatives is to improve the quality of life for all persons with or at risk for type 1 and type 2 diabetes. That includes primary prevention, movement from no diabetes to diabetes, testing and early diagnosis, access to care for all persons with diabetes, and improved quality of care for those persons living with diabetes.
Type 1 diabetes affects an estimated 1.25 million people in the U.S. and is the 7th leading cause of death. It is also easily misunderstood. Things such as you're fat if you have type 1 diabetes, it's caused by eating too much sugar, it can be cured by diet and exercise, and you won't get it if you live a healthy lifestyle are all common misconceptions many people have. The American Diabetes Association is a nonprofit organization with a mission to prevent and cure diabetes and to improve the lives of all people affected by diabetes. According to the ADA, approximately 40,000 people will be newly diagnosed each year with type 1 diabetes. They currently have federal action plans including to stop raising the prices of insulin, help stop the diabetes epidemic, and advance research and prevention by raising community awareness and implementing action.
When I was first diagnosed, I didn't really know a lot about the disease,
Right.
and so I was actually thinking I was going to die.
Nick Jonas was just 13 years old and on the verge of a massive music career when he found out he had type 1 diabetes.
There was a lot of fear that came in, and it also came at a point in my life where things were really starting to get going with the brothers, and to have this thing interrupt that was heartbreaking.
But he was determined to not let the diagnosis stand in the way of his dreams.
It's been a day-to-day learning experience from the day I was diagnosed, so just how to deal with it all. And you know, for me, it's about having the right tools and the right people in place in my life to help me deal with it. One of the tools is Dexcom CGM, which a lot of people don't know about, but it's a continuous glucose monitor. You know, it's like a part of my everyday life, which is one of those things where it just makes it that much more simple and feels like you have a friend looking out for you.
And if this shirtless selfie wasn't a sign before, Nick is proving diabetics can be jaw-droppingly fit.
I'm in the best health I've been in, and I'm feeling really good. Anything really in life that is a challenge for you. For me specifically, it's my diabetes. But that, you know, you can do what you want with your life, and you can be happy.